Hey, what is up, everyone? I'm Surfing Doggo, and today is Tofu Day. We're looking at OpenTofu, which is here to replace Terraform, the formerly open source, most widely used infrastructure as code deployment package software thingy. Words are hard. It is owned by Terraform is owned by HashiCorp, which is now evil. They said, "Give me your money." And the whole world was like, "No." And so everybody was outraged, me included, down with HashiCorp, down with the man. And so OpenTofu was born. Terraform, TF, Tofu, TOFU, FU, HashiCorp. But OpenTofu is here to replace Terraform. It's going to be very similar. It's a fork of the last open source version of Terraform. I am super excited. It is now backed by the Linux Foundation. That's the big announcement of this month, and it's probably the biggest drama of software so far this year. Maybe. But let's take a look at OpenTofu. Come eat some tofu with me. This is the GitHub repo, and I went ahead and looked at how to install it. Well, turns out it's kind of hard to find. It's very much an alpha, so they're making decisions, they're still developing. So this is very, very new. In the next like 2 weeks, it's going to look a lot different. But I was looking for how to install it today and couldn't find it. So it talks about the contribution guide, la la la, it's open source. And so I don't know how I found it, but there in the documentation on the OpenTofu website, there is the apt package manager for Debian and Ubuntu. So currently you can install it on Linux or on Mac OS. Sorry, Windows, you're lame. I'm using Windows right now, but I use Windows System Linux. So I went ahead and said, that's easy. It's just one command in the command line, apt install OpenTofu. I ran it. And the package manager was like, what you talking about, man? So like, great. Nobody knows what I'm doing. OpenTofu is very new. So I did apt update. That didn't help. And I noticed in here, there's the official packaging guide. So, hey, maybe there's a package repo that I need to install so that it knows actually where to look, like the direction. And so I clicked on that link and it said, server not found. And I looked at the URL and it is placeholder.com/official packaging guide. So they're making decisions. I went ahead and joined the Slack and there's making some decisions on where to put everything. So everything is very, very new. This will be fixed very, very soon as they figure out what they want to do as far as apt goes. So I reread it and I looked here, OpenTofu zip archives. So okay, that sounds reasonable. So I went back to Git and I scrolled all the way up and I saw releases, no releases published, packages, no packages published. And so I went ahead and did some digging. And sometimes in the contribution guide, it'll tell you how to actually build things in a different way or whatever. So it's like, all right, maybe something's in there. And it sure was. So if you look at this, go install dot. So super simple. You just have to have Go installed. And then you do go install dot. The problem is that I don't have Go installed. I use Docker and I'm a huge fan of containerization. If you're new to that, then go install Docker and learn Docker. It's so useful. Everything should be Docker, everything. So I went ahead and looked up how to build a Go package using the Go Docker container. And sure enough, on the official webpage that I closed, they just give one simple Docker run command. So I went ahead, figured out how to get it working. It took a couple tweaks, but I did get it working. And so I did a pull request. Here's the Docker run command right here. So it's using 1.20.7, which is the current version that they're working with. They are trying to get it to the latest, which is 1.21.0, but there are a couple issues. I'm not going to be the one to figure it out because I don't know what I'm doing in Go. But then you just run the go build command and you need this build VCS is false flag because there's some git conflicts of something. It's a huge thing with Go, but you use go build rather than go install because go install puts the binary on path for you. If you don't know what that is, I did put some information about that in the PR right here. So there's a link. And so go build just means that it spits the binary out right in that repository and you can use it just like I say here. So you can move it to path if you want. And a couple little details about contributing. If you are looking to contribute, you have to open up an issue first, and the issue has to be accepted. But it is Saturday night, and nobody in their right mind is going to be on there approving my issues. I'm the only weirdo. So I went ahead and did it because it's just a simple change to the README, and hopefully they don't yell at me. The GitHub bot definitely yelled at me a couple times until I figured out the right order to put things. But yeah, so the one thing that you have to be careful, or not careful, but whatever, is in the when you do your git commit, you have to do -s because it adds the signature, so it'll add your email address. So make sure that it's not like your personal email address that you don't want anybody knowing about, or your mom's email address or whatever. Just make sure that it's something, the relay or whatever it is. And the only other thing that I have to add is this is the OpenTofu language documentation. So it looks very much like Terraform, and I'm going to publish a video tomorrow about how to use this to deploy some infrastructure. We're going to see how far we get. And so make sure that you subscribe, follow, like, all of the above. And thank you so much for watching. I'm excited about OpenTofu. Surfing Doggo. Wait. Join the Discord. You can get help there, and it's a really cool community that we're building. There are now 3 people. So thank you to Skylar, Marin, and oh man, I thought Marin was hard to say. Thakur. Thank you so much for joining yesterday. I'm stoked about the community that we're building. We've got some more people on the way, bringing them over from the old server, and really good place to learn technology. We're focusing on artificial intelligence, GPT, all of that stuff. So if you're new to technology, if you're into learning, or anybody that is, it's just like dying to get into the world, or you're always wanting to like automate a couple things, not change your career necessarily, it's a great place to be. So we're going to do some cool stuff. So go join the Discord. And now, Surfing Doggo out.